AskingRadio.com.
Hello, my Cloody. Asking Radio is here. Tell everyone you know. The wait is over. 98.5 Speed FM.
Catch us if you can.
Speed, welcome to the show for everyone. This is Extra Speed on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM Makurdi, and I am King James YiYE. I'm not alone, I am with
Mmemshima King.
And of course, this morning on the show, we'll be looking at Schools Open Day. That's Schools Open Day. Many schools towards the middle of the term. So on the average, a term is 3 months, and in the middle of the term, they introduced what is called Open Day. And from what I've gathered, or what we've gathered, the aim is to improve teacher-parent interaction, right?
Yes.
And also to see your child's mid-term performance. But we'll be looking at this and asking the question, is the feedback, especially from parents, effective? If yes, how can it improve? If no, what can be done? So that's what we're looking at on Extra Speed this morning on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM Makurdi. And if you want to talk on this, you can call us on 08084 275464. That's 08084 275464. Schools Open Day. Are you a parent? Are you a teacher? Are you a school owner? Let's talk about Schools Open Day. I think some have done it yesterday, which is midweek for the term. I don't know if some are going to allow it till maybe tomorrow. I don't know, but schools have started Open Day where parents go and talk to their children's teachers on their child or children's performance. 08084 275464. King James here with
Mmemshima King.
So we'll be talking basically on our experience, taking kids and going for School Open Day, and if our communication with the teachers or the school through our children's teachers has worked. So first, let's look at the main aim of Schools Open Day, which is that teacher-parent interaction.
Yes.
So you've been going for School Open Day. Even yesterday you did. Let's look about this interaction. So how is the interaction?
It was positive. It was good. I got the opportunity to talk to my children's teachers, as in tell them my own complaints, with the kids and how they can also assist me in school. And they told me theirs too, in a way that I could also assist them to at home. So basically, it's just an exchange, get to see the kids, their book, and at times what your children, they do in school is different from what they do at home, so you get to see their book in school and all of that. So basically, that was all. Nothing really much like that. Then I gave them feedback. For me, maybe some complaints that the children, they will tell me at home that maybe they are scared to tell the teacher, so I would just tell them.
Like bullying or what?
Basically, like at times they'll be like, if that at times their teachers don't listen to them. At times, not all the time, So I was like, if they can try and create. I know it's not easy being a teacher, but they should try and create a little time, to try and know these children their needs. Because by the time you start shushing them aside, they will be scared to approach you the next time if they need something.
Right. So there was nothing like school open day during our time. Even these ones that they are doing now, perhaps in the last 10 years that they started, most schools, I don't think it's even up to 10 years that they started this interaction. And as you said, you go open your book. But my experience, I avoid going for open day because I have seen things that we have given feedback. I've given feedback. We're going to get to that, whether the feedback is effective. But I've seen things, and what I've noticed generally with the education system here is that, before I make this point, let's just listen to this caller and then we go on.
Okay. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Yeah, hello, good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing in the studio?
Fine. Your name and where you're calling from?
Okay, my name is Samson Blair Luga, SBL. I'm calling from Marketing.
Okay.
SBL, good morning.
Yeah, thank you. I just want to make a comment about school open days.
Yes, go on.
To me, they are very important and necessary in the age we have found ourselves in. Because most of the times when our children close from school, what they do majorly at home, if you are not watching, is if you are not careful, they spend most of their time watching cartoons and all that stuff. So, for you to know the real performances that they have in school, is for you to interact with the teachers, see how they react to certain issues and all that. For instance, my son, when I visited his school opening day sometime last year, I checked through his books and also checked through his desk, his locker, and discovered that this guy had built an army of what he watches on television in his desk. The teacher was not even aware at all. When I went to, because I observed him a lot and I know the kind of cartoons that he loves watching and how he arranged those things in his locker was just typical of what he watches on television. So I asked myself, if I had not come here, maybe this young man would have spent all his time fighting battles in his locker while lessons are going on.
Oh my God.
So it is very important for parents to partake in these school open days and for more interaction between the teachers and the parents.
Yes.
When they share ideas, it boils down to having maybe a positive impact on the children.
Yeah.
So open days are very important.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so but that's an important thing to actually notice.
Yeah.
Very vital. I think it's his car, so I mean the ignition noise. But so it's important for him to actually go and notice that, because the guy has built, just imagine the big man, a 4-year-old.
Yeah.
He comes and says that you should buy all characters of Paw Patrol for him. And we keep saying that is going to cost millions of naira.
Yeah.
And he doesn't even care. All he knows is that we should buy.
Yeah.
So assuming that you buy even the little ones, if you're not watching, so big man could actually take them to his locker.
Yeah, or he can even create, he can create, I think he said his son created and those
characters.
The characters in school. So that means maybe when he's in school, he might get a little bit distracted.
Not might. For him to take his characters to school,
it means that is what is that's why I'm laughing.
Exactly. That is what is, fun for him. So perhaps he's not even listening to what is going on.
What is going on?
And the teacher obviously doesn't even know.
Yeah.
And that is a new one for to be real. I'm very grateful and thankful to SBL because the open days I have gone for, I don't even open the locker.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh me, I do.
They just bring their books out and I just check the books.
No, I do. Like when I went yesterday for our son, the bigger one, and the Quran say I saw a book under his locker and I know I didn't buy that for him, so I had to ask the teacher and he said I know it was a friend of his that gave it to him, so I had to confirm from the friend. He said yes.
If he needed the book, he should have told you.
Well, I felt maybe he wanted to just something like he would just read in school and all of that, so I just kept it back, so that when he goes back to school he would not be bothered that it was misplaced or something.
Right. So it's extra speed on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM Makurdi, and schools open day. That's what we're looking at. The aim is actually to improve teacher-parent communication and to see your child's performance and some of the things they're doing in school that you don't know.
Yes.
But is the feedback effective? We get to that and what can be done differently, the same way we do radio differently. So if you want to call, it's 08084 275464. That's 08084 275464. Do you go for open day? If yes, what do you do there? If no, also tell us your reason. Let's quickly see Facebook. Uto Moses says, nice job. Angie Godfrey, hello, Asking Radio, watching you live from G Town. You know G Town?
Just
No, G.
G. Okay, G. I don't
Boko.
know. Oh no, I don't know. That
Oh,
one.
right. Okay, so that's Boko. So before SBL called, I was saying that what I have seen generally here from my experience is that teachers or the education system, people are, my father was a teacher after coming back from the army. So I actually witnessed teaching up until he died in 2015, or if you can say 1999, when I left and was doing radio. Perhaps it continued, but I wasn't privy to his lesson notes and the marking scheme and all of that. But what I see recently is teachers are interested in just putting question mark in red pen, even for the children in kindergarten. So I have asked that question. This question mark you put in here, the child does not even understand it.
Exactly.
Why not just see them face to face and ask them? And then sometimes while you write, the handwriting in the book, for instance, the letter A that we see printed is not the way it's written with hand. And so they get, and the small letter G,
yes,
G too, even Q, no, Q is the same.
No, Q is the same.
You
It's
know,
G.
so G is not the same, small letter G and small letter A. So those ones are not even the same.
Yes.
So children get confused, you know, between what they are seeing you write
Yes.
and what it is printed in the books that they are reading. So sometimes you don't explain and you are interested in just putting red pen.
Yes.
Then I've also seen teachers trying to, like, handwriting for the lower class. You're trying to correct them. The other time, like I want to so say, when she was in the nursery section, you are saying that her tracing is not straight. So you are aiming at correcting it with the red pen, and then your own is worse. Your freehand is worse. A zigzag.
Yeah. I think there are times that we want these children to be perfect, but then they are still growing up. So I just feel like a little bit of time would actually help them. Just keep on encouraging them, and that's what would help them. And again, another thing I saw was there was a question that they asked, in their test, and the both of them, I discovered that they underlined the same thing, So I was questioning myself, and I was like, but no, I think they're actually right, At times,
What's the question?
Okay, the question was
Ask me the question.
Okay, let me ask you the question. The question was who is the head of the extended family?
His
and
grandfather.
They went ahead to say the grandfather, but the teacher failed them and said it's the father. But I was like, I would not, if I were to be the teacher, I don't think I would fail them. I think I would call and ask them, why do you think it's the grandfather? Because we are learning, we learn from these children.
If the teachers you cannot actually say in an argument, the teacher may not win. Because when you say nuclear family, it's just me and you and the children.
Exactly.
So extended family at what level? You understand? Extended family at what level? So if Lucy's children, that's my elder sister's children, come to stay with us, and your own siblings come to stay with us, it becomes extended family.
Exactly.
Am I necessarily the head of that? Am
Not
I their
at all.
parents?
Not at all.
So it's something you can argue.
Not at
so,
all.
but why do you even need to ask those children at that time? And exactly.
Yeah.
And if they are giving answer as grandfather or grandpa, why do you fail them?
Exactly.
What is the essence of such a question in the first place?
Well, it's part of teaching, but then I thought the teacher wouldn't have failed them. He would have calmed down a little bit to try and understand the angle in which they were coming from.
There was another question sometime I saw that one of these does not have one of this is not a computer system or something. So they listed smartwatch, they listed stuff.
Yeah, so many things.
Yeah, and all of them are using chips. So the operating system is the same, irrespective of size. So the child, I've forgotten exactly what they pointed, but I was telling the teacher that it's so wrong for you to say they are wrong. Because they can argue with you.
Of course, and they would win.
They would win, especially when they grow. Because they are seeing computer in a way that you are not even seeing.
Exactly.
So what is a computer? I asked the teacher, what is a computer? It was at that point that she said, well, she's not a computer teacher or something.
Yeah.
But I said, then you have to interact. And then when a situation where you have two children, one in A, one in B, they answer the same question. One teacher failed the other one. I'm not with their books. I don't want to be so specific.
Exactly.
I don't want it to be so specific. But one failed and one got it. And they answered the same way. And then I'm like, why? So some of these things are things that you really need to, the teachers, we're talking to them now because we have given feedback. I don't know whether we're moving to the feedback now because we have given feedback. We should be moving to feedback because we have given feedback. The question is whether it's been effective. And we dwell on that now. But you can call us now, 08084 275464. That's 08084 275464. Schools upon day. And you go for them.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, King James. Good morning, Mmemshima.
Good morning.
Your name and where you're calling from?
Okay, my name is Isabella Tewase. I'm calling from George's Quarters.
Okay, go on, Isabella.
Okay, I really interested in today's, morning ride.
Yeah.
Talking about open day. King James, you pointed out that open day came into being just like maybe 10 years ago or something like that.
Yeah, the one I'm aware of, yeah.
Okay, good. So, but prior to that, children were actually still doing well in school. Some of us, our parents, didn't know what our classrooms looked like back then. But in recent times, open day, I would agree, is a good thing. But at the same time, I would also want us to understand that these children we birth, most times we know who they are. Not all our children have the same character, as much as we are raising them in a manner we feel they will not be a nuisance. And most times, I'm talking from experience, I discover that parents drop children in school and expect teachers to perform some kind of magic, which is not possible. Me, I'll speak for myself. I had the opportunity to always go for my children's open day. I never missed any. They always looked forward to that because they were eager to see what mommy would say about their book.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a surprise to me because I had time with them at home. I actually studied with them. I would read with them. Peradventure, I was too tired. You'll see them looking very sad and and I'm like, no, I know what you're capable of. We did revision. I've asked you questions. Why do you feel I need to do it all over again? Let me today. So when I go to the school, I know what I'm expecting. King James, you don't go through their books. We mommies, we go through the books. So I actually would go through all their books. I had 4 of them. I'll go to each class, take my time, interact with the teacher. And there are some things that she would say or he would say that I already knew about my children.
Exactly.
And so when he or she would say something that was contrary to what I understood any of my children to be, I would like to know more, or I would know when to say, no, check properly because I know my child is capable of this or capable of that. And also I want to appeal to some parents because when they go there, they now blow through the roof. They do not even listen to the teacher. So the interaction turns out to a confrontation, and then there's argument, and then there's everywhere, blown. So let's expect the teachers. Let's appreciate them, because some of us, we have 4 children, but we know what it means like growing with toddlers.
Yeah,
I'm privileged not to have a toddler anymore. Praise God.
Congratulations.
Yes, but those that have toddlers, you need to give them that time and don't expect all from the teachers because they are handling 30, 40, 50 pupils.
Yeah.
It's hectic. And if they are able to even tell you like quarter of what your child does in school or what they know about your child, I think they should be applauded. It's not an easy thing.
Yeah.
Yes, it's not easy.
So would you say your feedback has been effective?
Yes. At least I'll speak for the school where they went to. It has been really effective because I interact with the teacher. If I'm not satisfied, I can go to the head of school. But in most instances, I never had to go to the head of school because it was more like a conversation. So I feel the feedback I mean, it's good. My feedback for open day is good. It's good. It's good. But we should also learn to be patient, to hear what the teacher has to say and to tell them what we understand and reach an agreement. I think if we do that, we'll be heading towards a better, future for the children. So they also, and then Mmemshima, you have to go extra mile. You need to go through their books. You need to understand what they're doing. It can be hectic, but that's the role we have to play.
Of course.
In the times that we are now. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Welcome.
And do have a lovely day.
Thank
you
you.
too. Yeah, so exactly. So as she's saying, you even had an experience where the teacher told you that some women, your gender, they come and one woman came and was screaming,
screaming and
at her,
at him, and was like, it's their responsibility to take care of these children. It's their responsibility for these children to know these things. That she's so busy, she doesn't have time. That's why she pays this amount of school fees. And I was like, why would you do that as a mother? You were the one that brought these children to this world. Why would you carry your responsibility and just go and throw it on the teacher 100%? It doesn't make sense. What's your role as a mother? And I think this time around, the school discouraged sending your nanny, to come for open day. I really wonder how parents or mothers are so busy that you cannot just have that time to just go for open day, that you would have to send someone, your nanny, to go for the open day. It doesn't make sense. The nanny knows
the kids as well.
Better than the mother. Yeah, that's why.
Exactly.
They send them to go, because they're the ones that do the homework and everything for the kids. The mom doesn't even have any knowledge about it. I like that.
Yeah, exactly.
And one thing, again, our last caller said, knowing your children is very important. And I also feel in that area, at times, teachers, they struggle with parents when it comes to that, because there are times that your child very well, you understand, but the teachers, I'm not saying teachers are not trying, they are doing their very best, and I'm so proud of most of these teachers, but where they argue with the parents that no, that's how so many children, they misplace their books. You understand, but your child, and when your child is telling you that no, I did not misplace, that I did not misplace my book, at the end of the day, what I know happened?
What you're talking about. Aunt Sorens did her homework the other day and submitted.
Yes, she submitted her book.
This is a new teacher. It's not the other teacher that was with her in the last 1 year. So that one knows her very well. Now they changed the teacher. The teacher wanted to give you an impression that this child did not submit
her book.
So even you and Aunt Nase told the teacher that, look, once this Aunt Soros says I have submitted, she has
done that.
And then another teacher joins this one. That wasn't open day, but it's feedback. To say that no, children can do this. I said no, please check. She has submitted. Say go and check at home. We say no. She submitted. That they never wanted to be wrong.
They never,
At the end of the day, they found a book.
Yes, but I took the stress to just let me just scatter the house and just check for the book. But I knew very well that the book was not at home, because even she even had to drag her sister and she told us that I submitted that book today, But at the end of the day, they found the book
and the teacher now started saying she submitted the wrong subject on the same desk. So we understand that you are having to deal with some 20, 30, 40 pupils or children, as the case may be. But again, you just have to do your part.
And they shouldn't just assume that all parents are the same. For me, I give my children that 100% time to know what they do, to know who they are. So even when they go to school and the teacher, it's like, okay,
children are like this.
Yeah, or your child does not talk. She's just to herself. I'm like, no, she does. I just think you need to just push harder. She does. She is very open, but I just feel like maybe she just wants to mere environment, or she just wants to be to herself. But just try and push harder a little bit.
It's extra speed on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM Makudi, and we're looking at schools open day. The aim is to encourage that interaction between teachers and parents, and of course for parents to get to see the classroom environment and what their children are doing. So you go check your locker or desks and see their books and all of that. I have done that, a couple of times. But one of the reasons why I don't like going for open day is my feedback. It seems like most teachers like
Argument.
something. I don't argue with them. I present points that they can't even argue with me. The points are very clear. But it's like just bringing something that is different, totally different here. For instance, from the primary school to the university system that we have here, nobody's allowing these children to express what they feel like expressing.
Yes, yeah.
If you ask a child what is democracy, for instance, and they give you the Nigerian definition of democracy, do you think you should fail them?
Not at all.
Exactly.
Not at all.
If a Nigerian child tells you that democracy is a system where politicians steal money and the state suffer, you are not supposed to fail them.
Exactly.
Because Abraham Lincoln has given a definition of democracy, and that's American way.
Exactly.
So
You're
whether
right.
you apply it in political science or any other place, this child is seeing something different. So why not just listen to them? So suddenly, Q will not be for Queen again because the Queen is not there.
It's not there anymore.
And if you say letter A is for what?
It's not Apple.
It's supposed to be. But those books where you have written these children in those villages have never even seen an apple.
Yeah, I understand.
So if they say something different. So the whole aim here is just to fail. And I think the teaching profession for most teachers is like waiting for that opportunity to write red pen. In a child's book that they don't even understand these things. You are just putting question mark. Why not just spend a little time and teach them? Just like we're talking ahead of extended family. A child says grandpa and then you fail them. So how do you...
It's terrible.
Yeah, exactly. How do you want to begin to argue that? You cannot... King James cannot be the head of extended family.
That's why I said... Yeah, or even if my... Now, I believe my father is the one in charge of us. If there is anything, run to my dad. But I cannot tell my children that my dad is around. I'll be like, your grandfather is around.
Exactly.
So they know grandpa at the head.
Yeah.
As long as he is alive, he is the head.
He is.
That's why
Once
they tell me that they would
family.
report me to their grandfather. You understand?
So once they tell you that's the head of extended family, how do you begin to argue with them?
Argue with them. And I think another one again, I had to approach the teacher even before the open day, because there are some situations where you can't just wait for open day. This was Andu Since that brought her book, and I was like, why did you get 1/10? It doesn't make sense. What happened to you? You understand? And she was like, she didn't understand. I was like, you didn't understand, and you did not ask your teacher. So I was bothered, because if
the child is getting 10/10,
exactly.
Suddenly
if I were to be the
1/10,
teacher,
yeah.
I think by the time I feel 1, 2, 3, I think I would pause. I wouldn't go ahead, and I will ask you what the problem is. So I had to go to school the next day, and I asked the teacher. I had to open the page and this is what I saw. She got 1/10. I'm surprised. What happened? He was like, basically she doesn't talk. She's always quiet. And I was like, you have to push her to talk. Let her say something. She cannot just come to school and be quiet. It doesn't make sense. So I asked him later on that, okay, was there any correction done? He said no, that there was no correction. I was like, why? You have to. So that she would understand, because if you just brush this in and allow it to go, it will not make sense. The child is just going to be there like that without knowing anything. But one thing I was happy is that the next day, the teacher told her to come and show me the correction that they did. So I think there are also some situations that you don't need to wait for open day as a parent. You need to approach those situations
exactly before they get too late. It's open day, that school's open days. Extra speed on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. This is King James YiYE here, and
Mmemshima King.
You never opened your mind. Okay, so back to Facebook. Simon Timi says open days are valuable events where parents have the opportunity to see what their children are learning in school and share their feedback. As key stakeholders in the educational process, parents play an important role in their child's learning journey. As both a teacher and a parent, I appreciate the chance to review my child's progress. As a teacher, I also welcome constructive feedback from parents. It is important for both parents and teachers to use these events as a time to collaborate and support the students' development in a positive and respectful manner. Make parents the dash teachers better money. I think they should. there should be a day of that shit. Appreciating teachers.
I think
Teachers
that should be
Appreciation
Teachers
Day.
Day.
Yeah, you know, parents need to do
And
that.
wrap
Actually.
gifts
We
for
are
the
not
teachers.
suggesting that you should bribe your child's teacher, but
not at all. Appreciate them.
appreciate them. Don't go and give them money, and when your child fails, you are wondering why did they? No, that's not what we're saying. Teokula Samuel says, "Good morning, King James and the radio queen Mmemshima.
Good morning.
I have missed to catch up with you guys for some time now due to my change of environment. Thank God that I'm back and streaming live with you now in Lagos." Okay, so I just some stuff are coming on Facebook. Thank God that I'm back and streaming live with you guys from Lagos Lakey Phase 1. It's another wonderful topic, and I hope parents and teachers are listening to know more about the areas they need to work on in order to train the children in a better way. God bless you. God bless our parents and our teachers, and for everyone listening. Thank you very much indeed, Samuel. It's Extra Speed. Wedi Patezmo says, "Good morning, Mmemshima King, the radio
morning.
queen. Good morning, King James Yiye, the radio wizard. Good morning, viewers across the globe. If you are watching, please do not forget to remember, to like, comment, and share the broadcast. Thank you as well. So you can call now 08084275464. That's 08084275464. So Alamachagodobe team is not there today to tell us what people are saying. Yeah, but of course we are here with our experience. So back to feedback, because we have established what open days are for, and the interaction is good. And you are saying that some things you shouldn't wait for open day. Even on the closed day, you can go and say something. So that is very, very valuable. But one of my major issues that I have with the education system here, with the teachers here, as I keep emphasizing, is the interest in failing a child, because that happens from kindergarten to nursery to primary school to the university here. They're interested. I've heard BSU lecturers brag that nobody passes my course.
They are just so excited when they see
That
students
nobody
coming
passes my
back
course. So it
to
doesn't.
write
It really
well.
doesn't even make sense. It doesn't make sense, because I think a teacher should look at themselves as the failure
instead. Thank you.
if they can improve a child. So for feedback, I have given enough feedback in other schools. There's some that would lead to even pulling our kids out, because the essence of open day for me has been defeated in those schools. You give feedback on even the curriculum, because it looks like every school just adopts what they want.
Well, yeah.
Volume of work, abstract teaching, and all of those things. And then you give feedback, and then you go back, and then nothing works. And then the same system back and forth. Even this midterm assessment that we're talking about, I have seen questions, I've seen answers that children give correctly, and then you fail them. So when you complain, do they go back? At the end of the term, do you see that it changes?
Well, I haven't seen any changes, because it's still the same thing when they write their exams and that same question
Comes up.
You see the child failing. So at times you find yourself, even as a parent, in as much as you know the right thing, you just tell your child, please just answer whatever they teach you, just give them back the answer. At least
the best way.
It's not the best way, but what would you do? I think we are so excited when we see our children. They are the ones that will take the first position when they call them, and you come and collect the trophy for them and all of that, prize and all of that. You're excited. You're like, okay, just answer the teacher. Whatever he teaches you, just answer him. Just give it to him. But the right thing, because later in life, those things will not really apply to
Exactly.
you. I was also thinking and looking at our parents back then. Yes, open day is important. Yes, it's very important to know about your children, go to school and interact with their teachers. But our parents didn't do that, So I also feel, I'm not discouraging open day, but I feel there is this dependent, or like children are totally depending on their parents for every single thing, because our parents didn't go for open day. Our parents didn't even have time to even interact with our teachers, because our teachers would even give it to you there and there, and if they even know your home, they would actually go to your house and tell your father that this and this is what this child is doing. In fact, they deal with you instantly, and they knew the reason why they were there to teach. So why are you stressing the parents for that? Because they've actually given you that responsibility. But now you see, they tell you that it's a 50-50 thing. I'm working, I'm bringing the money to pay the school fees, and you're telling me it's a 50-50 thing. So how does that make sense?
Well, in the 21st century, it does.
It does.
Because people are working for the kids and not even having time for the same kids.
Exactly.
And then pushing them to the teachers. The teachers are also pushing
them
back to you.
So at the end of the day, the child is going to be affected.
Exactly. That's why people have nannies, and the nannies are becoming the parents. It's Extra Speed on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM Makurdi, and we're looking at schools open days. So if you are a parent, have you been going for open day, and has your feedback ever been effective? You can call us to tell us. If you are a teacher, what is the major challenge? You need to just call us and tell us. You don't need to necessarily mention your school so that anybody will know it's you, but you can tell us the challenges you've had, with parents or some parents and all of that, or even the policy of your school, so that even when you bring this feedback from parents, whether it's effective or not, you can call now 08084 275464. That's 08084 275464. 08084 275464. It's Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM Makurdi. It's King James Yiye and
Mmemshima King.
Right. So back to feedback. That is my major issue here, because I've given several times, but it looks like what the system is so rigid that nothing is ever going to change. Because in an environment, in a society that is dynamic and improving every day, society in progress, which is what happens every day, and that's why science and technology, they keep bringing things and improving. Let me digress a little. This is not digression, but let me just tell you. For instance, what is the main thing in technology today that nobody will allow you to drink water and keep cup? Artificial intelligence.
Okay,
AI.
AI.
Right. Now, AI is sounding like a new thing today. Now, if you look at that, my DVD, 3-loaded DVD, Iowa. That Iowa that you're seeing there, that looks to you like an archival material, an artifact, So that thing, I bought that. That was my first music set. I bought it in 2001. And it was 40K, even in 2001. That was big money. Yeah, it was big money. So Iowa, then that 3-loader DVD, it had AI, artificial intelligence. If you go, I will show you what's written, and I will snap it and put on Facebook.
Okay.
Now, how does its own AI work? Mind you, it's all soft touch. It has a dual cassette player, and it has 2 detachable speakers, and the speakers are detached already. You can't even attach them. And then it has 3 VCD DVD player that time. It's VCD, not DVD. It wasn't DVD, it was VCD. Now, so its own artificial intelligence is, if you slot in 2 cassettes, for instance, and one is playing and one is recording, and you have your favorite radio show, like Extra Speed, you will program it that during Extra Speed, the empty cassette will tune Speed FM, assuming that you are even listening to another radio station, but you want it to come back to Speed FM at 8 o'clock and record Extra Speed for you, and then stop and go back to another FM station. You could program it that way, provided electricity remained the same.
Yes.
No fluctuation, no and all of that. So that was in 2001.
Yes.
So that technology existed, and it was called artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are just getting to hear about artificial intelligence today. So what am I saying? The society is so dynamic. So if a child, sometimes they are exposed to different kind of environment.
Exactly.
So there are some of these questions that they ask in those notebooks that a child growing up in Tongo, in Gavi, my village, their answer is going to be different from a big man who is growing here and seeing something different. So sometimes when you look at the books and the questions are there, you begin to even wonder. Publishers and designers and people who approve these books, what were they thinking? Because the systems are purely different. So the answer this child would give would be right, but it's going to be different from another child's answer. Just like I was giving you typical example of the definition of democracy. In an ideal situation, you shouldn't fail a Nigerian child
for giving you his or her own definition.
Nigerian definition, not theirs.
Okay, Nigerian definition. That's
exactly of democracy. So here we know that a couple is married. In America, a couple could just be a boyfriend and a girlfriend, except you add married couple. Here, so many different things going on. Now, going back to Open Day, when you give feedback based on this, it simply just appears like the system wants it to be this way. So whatever you are saying, you are going home, and then it's not going to work.
Definitely, it's not going to work. I was looking at you when you were talking, and I remembered an incident where a child actually colored the Nigerian flag green, white, green. But I think the green was would I say light green or lemon green? It was light shade. And I saw the teacher. I wasn't a parent then. I saw the teacher. The teacher was so hard on the child, So I was just so inquisitive to know what was going on, and I discovered, So after everything, I called the child and I was like, "But why did you call? Why didn't you use the dark green?" And the child actually pointed to the flag in the school, and I saw it and I was like, "Oh, it's actually faded."
Exactly.
So that's what the child.
That's the environment.
Exactly.
Yes.
So you just feel the child, or you beat a child because of that. It doesn't really make sense.
How do you even define green? If they simply say green, white, green. And
I think at times too, they need to also give these teachers examination as well, because at times some teachers, they mistake the red for pink, and it baffles me a lot that colors are that difficult. You look at red and you say red is pink as a teacher. No, and you're confusing that child.
You don't blame them, because the truth is this. For those of us coming from that background, my father was fine arts teacher, fine and applied arts and graphics. Yes, so I knew colors, and that red becoming pink is just a stint of white. You drop into red and then it becomes pink. But you see that colors are even defined now by whomever. Paint companies have their different colors. So what is orange for Sherwin Williams is not the same orange for Mmemshima Paints. So it depends on what you want to call it. Now, when you go back to asking whether teachers should not color, sometimes it's not their fault.
Okay.
Some of them, if they never studied fine arts, they're likely not going to know. But then it beholds on the school also not to keep a teacher that has no idea of that subject to teach, because they're actually confusing the kids.
Exactly.
And then you are talking of the print or the coloring of the national flag, for instance.
Yes.
Even the ones that are printed by the federal government, given to different contractors, are going to appear in different shades.
You are right.
So these are not the things that you should be paying attention to.
Exactly. I think the basic thing is you being able to write and read. Some things you shouldn't make it a mandatory thing that you would even have to beat a child, because the child is not doing that well. I don't really think that.
So teachers, you are not calling. It looks like we're just bashing you, but
no. These teachers are doing great. It's really not easy taking care of children.
Yeah,
it's not easy.
It's on both sides.
Yeah.
We're talking about the teachers and the parents as well. So, but it's open day. So we're doing open day on Asking Radio on Extra Speed. So teachers, parents should call now. 08084275464. It's not just enough for you to just listen and be saying, yes, they're right. Yeah, but this, that. They don't even know what we go through. Call now. 08084275464. 08084275464. If they know you as Miss Anne in your school, when you call us, simply just say
Rebecca.
You are Miss Rebecca or Miss Annie or whatever. You can call any other name. We're not encouraging people to lie, but for the sake of privacy on radio, you can just give a pseudonym, and of course we go on. So Simon Timia you is back here saying, yes sir, about dynamism, every teacher should evolve. Pedagogy, that's too strong for radio, but let's say pedagogy is changing every day and providing more and more conventions. Wrong. In a typical 21st century classroom, no child should be fed for an opinion they rack their brain to express. This is problem solving. There is nothing the children in our classrooms don't know. All they are coming to school to do is to socialize and be guided into using those ideas to solve problems. Every teacher should be ahead. Yes, I understand what he's saying. What he's saying is that almost everything the child is coming to school to learn, they already know. Almost everything. That's what he's trying to say.
Exactly.
So they're simply coming to socialize and, just interact. So it simply means whatever idea they bring. In the world of arts, even in sciences, nothing is hardly wrong.
Of course.
Yeah, because it works how you want it to work. For instance, we have been told that it's solar energy, which is what we're using here. You and I know that is it about the heat of the sun or the reflection of the sun? Because sometimes it's raining, but our panels are charging.
Exactly.
So where are they getting the sun from? So you know that the sun is still there anyway, but the clouds have covered it a little bit. So these are things that when you go on to study them and experience and experiment them, you discover that you're always coming out with innovations. So that is how it works. Here we are talking on extra speed, Schools Open Day without Alamashago to be input.
Yeah.
So you experiment, but our format is you bring those. That is how it works. So my major problem with the school system, as I keep repeating, is the fact that you are just thinking it should be this. That is why they keep saying it's not rocket science.
Exactly.
So 1 + 1 is 2.
Yes, it's 2.
But in marriage, 1 + 1 is not 2.
It's not. Yeah.
So that is how these things are. It's just like, standing this way and seeing 9. If they put 9 between you and I here, I'll be seeing 9. You'll be seeing 6. Exactly.
Yes.
So that is just how it is. So sometimes just a little bit of attention to what these kids are doing or expressing themselves, you will see a different thing.
And not even forcing a child to actually do something the way you want it, because just like our last son, the way he writes his 6, it's funny, so I think when I told him to write it and he wrote it the way he wanted, I wanted to I had to pause and allow him to do it. So he did it his own way and it was still a 6. So I cannot force him and say, no, you don't do it this way, you have to do it this way, because that's my own way, but his own way, as long as it's producing the same result, you just allow the child to do that.
So what is funny about that and what is ridiculous and ironic for that one is, I was showing you when you were reading my handwriting and you wanted to yab me.
That was not a J.
that I wrote Bon Jovi, and you were telling me it was
T.
Come on. So you were yabbing me that my J looked like a T.
Yes.
And then I had to stress to look at the fonts on the computer, and I showed you those that have been patented.
Yeah, but
and people are making money.
Yeah, but those ones, they were actually looking like a J. Yours wasn't.
There was one you actually admitted. I think it's Rage Italic. Anyone listening to us now, if you know Rage Italic, just go and check the J and see how it appears.
Okay.
Or even script or brush scripts, they're there. And you saw them and you say, wow, it actually doesn't look like. So you also admit it. So that is how these things are.
Yeah.
I told a teacher, during Open Day, that I was wearing my uniform, that's a Speed FM shirt.
Yeah.
And I said, can you see this letter E? It's inverted. The letters, the two letters on Speed, they're facing each other. So if a child is writing that at this stage, you will fail them.
Exactly.
Why can't you come and fail me now? And then he was laughing and saying that is now a trademark. I said exactly. So whatever happens now, King has been patented. If I'm writing King in all caps, in fact letter I for asking media, is patented. So every name here, even on ID cards, anybody's name that starts with the letter I has to be small letter.
Yeah.
Or wherever you find letter I, for us is a small letter. Representing the I, that you should de-emphasize yourself, that you are not all and all. That is our own idea. So de-emphasize I, like it's we, it's a teamwork thing. That is the whole idea for us. So but you are not going to fail me. So why would you fail big man?
Well, at times they say it's a process. For now, they are not on their own, so you just have to still
They are going to be on their own.
Yeah, they will.
Now, if you listen to the news and you hear the Holy Father talking about Mama and Papa, or talking about peace, and then he speaks either Spanish or Latin, so that is a crude way of speaking English. So you hear the same thing sound strange in another language.
Yeah.
So I was watching TV yesterday, and if you look at service written in Turkish, is SERVIS. SERVIS. And that's service.
Okay.
Exactly. So, but if a child writes that, you're going to fail them.
Yeah,
and you are not going to say that the origin of that is not even English. And the child is not English. So, the police everywhere in the world, apart from English, nobody writes it the way it is written.
It is written, yeah.
So you see Policia, you see Polish, you see it.
But you will know it's police.
Exactly.
That's just the
so
thing.
some of the things, what we are saying is that schools, if you actually know that in later life, these human beings are going to go to that, and at that point you will not have any say. At the early stage, which is the formative stage, that they are storing whatever they are saying in life in their hard drive, which is their brain. And then you are confusing them with some things that actually don't make sense.
Yeah,
that is why I have issues. And then I read this comment, and then we go to parents, and time will be up.
Okay.
Tete Wasayamge says, schools give homework beyond the capacity of some pupils. I usually need to leave my niece and nephew, all below 10, with internet access to browse for answers because they are never in their workbooks or class notes. I went to one of the schools recently to complain, but the situation hasn't changed. That is the effect of the feedback we're talking about. If the aim of open days for schools is for that parent-teacher interaction and for feedback from parents, why are schools not taking the feedback and making the change? That is where my issue is. And for me, what I do is I pull them out
from the school.
Yes. So if I can change you, I can change the children's school, actually. So that is how it works for me. So if my children are in your school and you're listening to this program, if I give feedback, please take it with all seriousness. I don't just give feedback. Nigerians get easily tired of giving feedback because nobody actually takes their feedback seriously. So you don't even blame them. So when I'm talking to a school administrator or any other business person or any other person that I have to give feedback, and then I'm telling you that people don't even give feedback. So when they do, please take it seriously.
Yes, it's true. I want to ask you a question.
Yes, go ahead and ask me, my teacher.
Okay. If you have a student and the student spells favorites the British way, and another student spell favorites the American way, would you fail them?
No.
Exactly. I think I had that problem when I went to school for open day, and Ando says spelled favorite the American way,
which is without a U.
Yes, the teacher failed her, but I had to tell the teacher that no, she wasn't wrong. That's the American way of spelling favorite. You understand? But she was like, no, that's not what they are using now. That's not. They're not using that curriculum. They are using the British curriculum.
Who gave them the British curriculum? So
which is the British way.
You see that the same way. Right. Exactly. The same way they are talking British. You'll see that some spellings and the way the British even use the English, you will discover that it's not even used again.
Exactly.
Because they don't say, for instance, everybody who left their shoes here, for instance, not everybody should pack their shoes. not everybody should pack his or her shoes. So they don't even say the things that we say.
Yes.
So why not
So
even
I think
develop
we
our
are
curriculum?
even mixing the whole
Exactly,
thing.
we are, which is a normal thing for us because everybody mixes.
Yes.
The same thing that they're telling you is English, they tell you the origin is from Latin or Greek, you know, and all of that, or
That's true.
French.
Or French, yes, it's true.
So
And you
why do you
spell it
come-
that same way.
Exactly, and nothing happens. Nobody dies. The French people don't even bother themselves about S.
Not at all.
Exactly.
They are the ones.
Are bothering.
That are
Even the
bothering
letter
ourselves,
H,
yes.
even when they write. So, for instance, if you are doing an oral test and a child says Paris, are you going to fail them because the French say Paris?
You would not.
Exactly. So
You
that
will
is how
not.
it works. So teachers, please. And then finally, the parents that go to brag. Talk to your gender.
My gender. Well, I'm proud of some mothers because they are actually doing a great job, you know, from the home front, then the children trying to look at their homeworks, and they are always by their side to guide them. I'm really proud of them and I really applaud them. But for those that they keep on saying they don't have time for these children, please, you are the ones that brought these children to this world. You have to create time for your children no matter what. It's very important as a mother.
And again, the other thing of concern for me is, in as much as we are talking about this interaction between the teachers and the parents, should parents, especially the women, go shouting down on teachers? Is that the best way to do this?
Not at all.
Right.
Not at all.
So know that you are entrusting your child in the hands of a teacher from 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock to, well,
Sometimes 5.
Sometimes-
Some don't even pick until 4.
they don't.
Yeah, exactly. So I think the teacher needs a pat on the back. And for the schools, if parents give feedback, you should actually look into it. That is the reason for open day. And that's the reason why we're closing now on our closing day. So that's how it's been on Extra Speed. Today I've been King James Yiye, and
Mmemshima King.
see you tomorrow.
All right.
Staying up till the morning light. No, you don't mind it. I think you like it. Always showing you wrong from right. I'll let you guide me. Just stay beside me. Oh, nobody wants to go it alone, and I just wanna stay here.